Good evening. This is Carl Taylor. This is my Unit 2 discussion um, with Dr. Jose R. Santos's class. It's PM692. Today it's November the 2nd, 2019. Communication what we did in class this week. Communication is very important in not only team building and the workplace, but it is also important in everyday life. Effective communication is something that is learned over time and grows with a person as they develop their listening and knowledge skills, which furthers them as a more well-rounded person. Meanwhile, communication is something that is, when used effectively, is not only advance the cause of your group or workplace, but effective communication allows a very vast exchange of ideas which to collaborate and solve many problems. Communication management. Communication management is a very vast and tedious task, according to author Macaulay in her textbook. The planned communication management process considers how to store, maintain, distribute, and retrieve information, and what will happen to all the project information once the project is closed. Not only does a communication management plan help to plan out the project, effective communication also allows the effectiveness and efficiency of the communications between not only the team members, but the employees, the stakeholders, and all those who are interested in the company doing well and completing the project at hand. We not only take into consideration all the aspects of communication when creating an effective communications management plan, you must consider the organization's environment, which includes the cultures, the expectations, and the organization's processes, while keeping the team in line with the operating standards of the company. The most important thing to remember is that different team people will not only be on board with the communications of the group, but they will also be seeking out different aspects of the communication, such as, for example, the accountant will want the numbers about the project manager will want the criteria for the project, and the quality control department will want the specifications to make sure the parts are created correctly and will function as good, viable parts for the end process. That's Macaulay 2013. This student thinks one of the most important things when communicating with a team is to have everyone work together and try to stay on the same page. So the deadlines are met, the budgets are not overextended, and these are all very important things to be taken into consideration when completing a project. Group communication. An effective team and a good organizational climate not only improve employee health, but also the health and safety of the patients. Building up trusts and organizational climate and also a healthy workplace requires effective communication processes. They did a study in Sweden, and the workplace meetings as an opportunity for communication were regulated by a collective labor agreement, which, even though little is known about these meetings, about how they were organized, the communication processes were strengthened, and that was from the Bergman article. I really enjoyed it. Communication has also been described as a linear process, where the message passes from the sender through a medium to a receiver. Communication can also be seen as a process that occurs between two or more people, and where the aim is to share and exchange information in order to solve problems and sometimes to explore new ways of working. In this sense, a communication process seems to be more than merely a way of conveying information. It includes also a series of complex creative processes where the content is constructed and interpreted through interaction between people at the workplace. An open communication climate is characterized by a dialogue that requires unrestricted, honest, and mutual interaction for people to understand each other better, to promote tolerance, and to minimize conflicts. An open communication climate is essential to achieving a better working environment, and it can also therefore be regarded as health promoting, as it strengthens conditions for employees to exert influence and become involved. And that was from the Westerman article. Methods for running a team meeting. There are many methods to be taken into account into running an effective and well-organized team meeting. The four most important things are: have a positive attitude about the meeting. Remember that you own the meeting. Always prepare an agenda and use team meetings to collaborate. The most important things about team meetings is to not only keep them interesting but light and fun so people are not emotionally and mentally exhausted after them. We should use team meetings for not only a place to exchange ideas, but to get the departments in line with each other so that they can have the current project working together and being completed as seamlessly and tirelessly as possible. Communication blockers are very bad for team communication. They hinder and stop the hard work the team is trying to complete and finish the project at hand. Here are some important examples of communication blockers. They are accusing, judging, insulting, diagnosis, sarcasm, globalizing, threats or orders, interrupting, changing the subject, or calling for reassurance. In all of these topics, it is mainly when one or more people are using criticism to break the leader down and hurt their self esteem. It is sad for some people to feel that it is better to tear others down than to be nice and have respect for them. Communication is also halted and the whole team suffers. That's from my article, and it's No Author 2016. Make sure you have a very open and safe environment in which to exchange ideas and let everyone have a voice and be heard during these team meetings. Make sure the environment is conducive to not only have a safe exchange of ideas, but make sure that they are not criticizing someone if their idea is not as noteworthy as others. It is mainly a meeting of the minds where things are exchanged and members should not be hurt for sharing their ideas. Positive feedback leads to perceptions that procedures used by a supervisor are just and shows that the supervisor is just. The author knows of some individuals who profess that they are categorically do not give positive feedback. It may be wise for those who work in a supervisor capacity to consider whether changing their communication patterns with respect to feedback, which it does help to increase their employees' perceptions of justice. And that was from Western and Westerman. It is hard to keep members all on the same page, let alone exchanging of ideas and keeping everyone personally satisfied while completing the project at hand. It is very complexing to keep teams together and projects on task while dealing with time constraints, budget restraints, and the open communication between team members while keeping the personality conflicts outside the company walls. It takes a special project manager to keep everything at bay while running a smooth and professional meeting where the ideas are exchanged and the people are content. Thank you.